Hi there, it's Joseph here at Edge Dynamics making a shave video, and I've got some razors. I've got a couple to test from last week, and I've got 3 razors that I've just finished. First up, I've got this one in Ox, and I hope that's showing. You can see the pattern, and it might just show up as black on the camera, I'm not sure. We haven't got much light, so I don't know if you can see that, but it's Ox, and it's got a green Ox wedge, and it's steel lined. Oh yeah, the blade is a Rattler faux frame back. It's got a little water stain from honing it. It's a bit strange, but it does what it does, and I'm quite happy with this. I think it might not look like a wide blade, but I think it's a 7/8 because it's actually quite long, so it sort of disguises that fact. But it's honed up, it's got a nice bevel, and as I say, I'm really proud to get a nice finish on such a grind. It's also got on the inside, you can see, you're not going to be able to see it, in here is a little bit of the outside of the horn, but it's fine, it doesn't touch anything. Centres perfectly, and yeah, so we try that. Got another Wade & Butcher. This one is Black Ox. Remember that big piece of horn I had? Well, this is what came of it. Just hold it like that. It needs to be tightened, but it will cinch up really tight. But again, it's got a beautiful finish on the blade, and it's really nice quality. This one, it's got a lighter green wedge, but that's the blade in the scale, as you can see. Quite a nice shape, I think. And that's the second one, and the final one was the one I've just finished. Really is, I think this is a really beautiful. And this one is this is white Ox, but I guarantee it's shown on the camera as green, but it's actually white. You can't really take photos of white Ox. I've got one photo where the sunlight's on it, and that shows it as white, but it shows in the camera as green, but it's not green at all. It's got some anomalies. I don't know if you can see them, but it is smooth. Even though it might look like bits are flaking off, but it's completely there underneath. And here's the blade. Another Wade & Butcher. It's got a really nice finish again. And I'll be really interested to see how this one shaves. It's got a nice grind. Get my head out of the way. And just the aesthetics of the scales, of the shape. I mean, I'm really happy with that. Because it's been sat in front of my TV, so while I'm looking at the TV or the PC which is connected to the TV, I keep getting a glance of this and the shape of it, and it's really nice. And this one is nickel silver lined wedge. Oh yeah, this one is sterling silver. So if I line up all the wedges, show you sterling silver next to nickel silver. And again, I don't know how it's shown, but you can't really beat sterling silver. Just for the brightness of the silver, but the nickel silver is actually the best to work with, I'd say. Better than steel, better than brass. Shaving cream is the 908, the Mondial. So first up is last week's, I rehoned this one. It's the Napoleon. So this one's been rehoned. You saw this one last week. Beautiful razor, but I rehoned it. Let's just see how it feels. Yeah, and this is Paragon. And I did some experimentation last week with this and it was a fail. So I've rehoned it. And I'm really interested to see what I've done to this now. So, well, it's fine. Let's try this one. This is the one in Ox, the Wade & Butcher with the sterling silver lined wedge. Let's see what I did to this. Yep, very nice. You can tell that that's a Wade & Butcher. Then we'll go with the Rattler. Let's see, be interested to see what goes on with this. This has been restored over, it's taken a year or so to restore this. Yeah, we've got a winner, definitely. Yeah, it doesn't feel like the other Wade & Butcher. It feels a lot. I say it feels sharper, or it's just different. It's completely different to the wedge. It's really nice. Definitely, with beautiful one as far as I'm concerned. And it's on auto close, as you can see. Very nice. Yeah, I spent a lot of time honing this last night because I had some pitting on the bevel, and you know, I do all my work now on a 1K, all the restoration work, so but that just ensures that, you know, I'm really creating the kind of bevel I want while I'm establishing that bevel, and instead of just going like with the diamond plate, tearing it up and then coming in with a 1K. Right, yeah, that's got to be left alone really. I don't know if I've shown you on this one. I got the pin in. I got the old wide collars with bulbous pinning, and at the back as well, same business. Finished the shave off with this. But yeah, the foam is dissipating a bit because I messed it up, but yeah, this is nice. So I mean, you always get quite a distinctive edge off the rattlers. But I did have as well another Wading Butcher, because there's this one that I decided to do, and I had three Wading Butchers, and the last one, unlucky enough, it had a crack. And the sad thing was that I didn't see the crack until I'd near enough finished. And I was like, how come there's one grind mark? And then I turned the blade over and saw the exact same mark on the other side. And when I looked under the loop, I could see that the crack was like corroded. So it's quite an old, Jesus, what have I done? It's like a vintage crack. And yeah, just unlucky really, because sometimes, and I mean, all the Wading Butchers, I didn't spend too long on them, but that third one, I spent quite a long time establishing the bevel, because you know, you never can tell if you've got a wonky bevel. And I'm going back to the grinder and then back to the 1K, back to the grinder, trying to make sure I've got a nice bevel. And it's probably at like 240 grit or maybe even 400 grit I do it at. But it took probably half hour or an hour, I don't know, it took some time. And then, even the time loss, I don't really mind that, but what I do mind is the belts. Is using belts, wasting belts. That's the bit that I don't like. But it's quite rare to get a crack, and the crack was right in the middle of the blade as well. And saying that, going back just 2 weeks, I had another razor, which was a Joseph Allen, and this one, the scale said the dagger razor. So I've got a pipe razor. I think I've got a pipe. Does it say the pipe razor? I've got a rifle razor. This one, I don't know what the deal is with these things, because they're made by different companies, but sort of got the same scales and the same writing. This one was a dagger razor, so I've never seen that one before. And it was a little wedge, probably 5/8. And the first thing I did to it was the scales, because the scales are actually plastic and they were bent. So once I sorted the scales out, I moved on to the razor, put the razor on the buffer, and revealed a crack in the middle. So that's 2 in 2 weeks.
This is not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. This is a nightmare, but it's my life.
And the last one before that had a crack. I remember now actually. It was, I think it was a French razor, and it was really nice. Really old. And I'd had my eye on it for probably a couple of years. And yeah, that had a crack as well. But that's going back a year or 2. Right, I think we're good. But yeah, I've completed near enough all I have to do on razors. So, I mean, I've got a few more Wade and Butchers and some John and William rags, but I'm going to concentrate tomorrow on photographs, and I'm supposed to do that today, but I just can't be trusted really, but I promise I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then in the meantime I'm doing a penknife, which I'm going to go and finish tonight. So yeah, back in the workshop, penknife, photographs. And I could have used those razors. I'm using the Carite again. I'm using the Carite because it's kind of like neutral. And then I can, later on I can apply some face cream or something. But I could have shaved with those razors like 1 a week or whatever, but get them done, eh? Get them out of the way and move on. Right, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.